If you see a butt wink in a squat where the pelvis drops underneath itself and the lumbar spine flexes, what's probably going on there is you have an inability to have relative motion within your pelvis, and it's moving as an absolute unit to overcome that. So let's break it down and what that specifically means within a squat. So from the first 0 to 60-ish degrees of hip flexion, your pelvis needs to open up. Your sacrum, this bone right here, needs to tip back into counternutation. Now, your innominate bones right here are going to go into flexion, abduction, and external rotation. As you approach 90 degrees, parallel thighs to the floor of hip flexion, you're going to see the sacrum come forward. That's what should happen. You will have extension, adduction, and internal rotation of the innominate bones. That's associated with compression. Now, after about 90 degrees, as you progress towards a full squat, that sacrum needs to come back again into counternutation. Those innominate bones are going to go into the flexion, abduction, external rotation, but the reason why some people butt wink is their sacrum is stuck forward into this compressed, nutated state. So their pelvis is biased towards internal rotation, adduction, and extension. So if we're stuck in this forward orientation, where we're biased towards extension, and we can't recounternutate the sacrum, then what could happen is we can roll our pelvis underneath itself, because that is the pelvis and the body self-organizing into the easiest path of least resistance to find that nutation which is necessary to go deeper into a squat. The body has no choice. It's only concerned about getting the job done in the easiest way it knows how. So something we can do to fix this is we can elevate our heels in a squat. That's because it's going to bias us towards a pelvis that can expand again. Plantar flexion, what happens when you elevate your heels, is going to allow for that sacral nutation, counternutation, and that's what's going to allow us to achieve a deeper squat. You can also think about biasing your pelvis towards more expansion through putting a band around your knees. And you can think about doing that while keeping your knees over your toes, not spreading them out really far, just keeping them in line, which is going to take your pelvis from a compressed to more expanded state.